What is going on, everybody, on this beautiful, fantastic Thursday that we have right here to be living this dream that we're all a part of? First off, thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be able to provide this share. This is something that I've been wanting to share up for quite some time because it's something that I am challenged with every single day of my life, which is fear. And so with this share, my goal is to ultimately help people feel that warrior inside them that can challenge something that they are, first off, fearful of, afraid of, that could be impeding or challenging them from being able to move on in the next steps of their life, to grow, to spread their wings, and to ultimately fly. Fear is something that you definitely want to be aware of. You want to know that it's there first of all, and that's really healthy and normal. So the first thing here is to identify that fear truly is something that we all carry, and it's an instinctive feeling, an emotion that is there to prevent us from getting hurt or from, essentially losing control. And, you think back to the days where, of course, we don't have all of these things that we have around us, digital and the different pieces, but we go back to the hunter-gatherer time. And of course, let's say you're out and you're hunting for food. Well, you want to be definitely aware that you could get hurt while you're out doing that. So that emotion, that natural instinctive emotion of feeling that fear is very, very normal. So for anybody who's on here who doesn't think fear is normal and it's something that we all carry, I do want to let you know that it's something that we all have and we all carry. So first off, fear is healthy and definitely totally normal. Fear is one of the most basic human emotions that we have. It's programmed into our nervous system, and it works, like I was mentioning, as instincts. From the very time that we are born as infants, we're equipped with the survival instincts necessary to respond with certain situations in the sense of danger or feeling unsafe, and certainly helps to protect us. 2, identifying your fears and truly knowing where they come from is a very rooted statement, in the sense of, well, perhaps as a child you grew up and you had siblings, and you'd go into a dark environment and you go down into a basement, for example, and your sibling scares you in the dark. Or you watch a horror movie as a child, and you're seeing this dark, deep music that's coming in, and then something horrific happens. Well, that has a major, major impact on an emotional footprint that is deep-seated into your emotion of thinking that darkness is something to be scared of, when indeed darkness is something that can be absolutely embraced, and it's nothing at all to fear. So identifying your fears and knowing where they came from is a key in being able to challenge them as you're going forward. One of the things that I was fearful of growing up was heights at a very young age. And then, it was basically because I had watched, somebody jump off of a cliff and belly flop, and they were super hurt. And of course, I never wanted to belly flop and feel that pain that was hitting me right in the body, and feeling that consequence of that jump. So I'll get to that in a little bit about how I overcame that. But the third thing is, challenging your fears is really the only thing that you can do to overcome them. If you have identified your fears And you now know that those are your fears. You can write them down on a piece of paper. A lot of us just carry it in our minds, but write them down on the piece of paper. Well, I'm scared to do an extreme sport. I'm scared to, I'm fearful of starting a new business. I'm fearful of taking the first step to something because of the risk of failure. So when you're challenging your fear that you have written down and that you've identified as being your fear, when you're challenging it, just make sure that it's not, reckless. Don't recklessly challenge what it is that you're fearful of. As an example, base jumping for the very first time from a 500-foot tower probably wouldn't be a good way of overcoming your fear of heights. So don't do it recklessly. Do it in a way where you can ask those around you who you trust whether challenging this fear is something that is not reckless. So speaking with people you trust about your fear and communicating that, and then being able to know that you're not approaching this recklessly is very important. In regards to fear, lean into it when you're challenging it. Don't just jump into it like I was saying about the base jumping. Lean into it. So perhaps you're afraid of heights, which I was as a very young child because of that belly flop, that emotional footprint. Seeing somebody get hurt was something that provided me with the blockade or the challenge of thinking that cliff jumping was ever going to be fun, which is one of my favorite things to do today, is to cliff jump and cliff dive and so on. So, I didn't climb up to a 50-foot cliff and jump off of that right out of the gate. I climbed to a 10-foot cliff, and my brother Todd helped me feel as though, the worst case scenario is I get wet, which is jumping into the lake. That was the worst case scenario. There were no rocks, it was deep, it was 40 feet of water, and I was able to do that, not recklessly, but in an incremental sprint type accomplishment. And I went from 10 feet to 15 feet and gradually worked my way up till that fear was overcome. So, that's I think, challenging those fears is something that we can all do, but do it in incremental baby type steps. If you're afraid of the dark, you may not go into a big dark basement or warehouse, but you may go into a dark bathroom, or you may go into a dark room and explore that room and identify that it's not, it's not something that can really impede or impact. What's up, Ken Walls? Hope you're great, man. The other thing is, the fourth thing in fear. These are 5 things that we can identify about fear that are really important. The fourth thing is, when you've overcome a fear, when you've challenged it, you've leaned into it, and you've overcome it, share that you've overcome your fear with your family and friends. Share your excitement, your joy of truly being able to not brag about it, but in a way brag about it. What the heck, right? You've just overcome something that was a challenge, a hurdle for you to be able to spread your wings to experience something new in your life. Ken Walls, 75 hard, 52 years old, I think you said, 51 or 52 years old. Man, sitting in your office and working and doing these interviews nonstop, inspiring the world and doing all of that is something that's comfortable. You've overcome that fear of being on Facebook Live, but that 75 hard, when Andy Frisella, you were interviewing him, and you talk about 75 hard, man, that's fear. Going out and doing some workouts and cardio outside and gym and challenging yourself with that's, you feel fear. And then I see you go on Facebook Live and you post yourself out doing your first workout as 75 hard. And man, look at that smile. Look at you overcoming that fear and accomplishing that, that feeling of accomplishment in a bite-sized step. That was your first workout as 75, and hundreds more after that, but first workout accomplished. And you were able to share that with your family, with your friends, with the social communities. What an incredible feeling, right? The fifth thing that I really want to share that I think is something that we all don't do enough, and we need to do this more. Be proud of yourself. for accomplishing that fear. Don't just be excited about telling other people about you overcoming it, but truly be proud in the inner part of your soul of accomplishing something that allows you to move forward in life without having that anchor with that chain attached to your foot, which is that chunk of fear that you were feeling before. So be proud of yourself. And how can you be proud of yourself? You can sit, close your eyes, and think about the depths of where you were in regards to fear and where you are now in overcoming that in an incremental process, and truly being proud with your eyes closed and feeling that root of pure pride related to that challenge you've overcome. The other thing that I'm going to say, which I tell a lot of my circle, and everybody who's on here, you're all part of the circle, but it's important at the end of every single day to know that you've accomplished something new, that you've done something that truly allows you to grow. Don't spend your time scrolling through never-ending social media feeds. Don't find yourself doing things that are wasting this incredibly valuable time in your life. Do things that are new, add to your life toolbox, challenge your fears, and at the end of every single day, Glenn, I know you're on here, the end of every single day, look in that mirror and be proud of who you are and the things that you've accomplished. We're not perfect. Life truly is nasty good, So at the end of every day, please look in that mirror and be proud of who you are, the things that you've accomplished. If you had some shortcomings, some shortfalls, identify them, write them down, and strategically plan to overcome those situations and to do a better job the next day. From beautiful Anguilla, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Live, and for everybody being here with me today and for watching this recorded video, thank you from the whole team at Asphalt Kingdom, the whole team at Nasty Good, and for everybody who provides these shares, these incredible shares to people out there looking for inspiration and motivation. Thank you. I appreciate you all and wishing everybody an absolutely fantastic day. Thank you.